Hello everybody, how's it going? Superfiend here, and welcome back to Whacky World. Now, in the last couple episodes, we built up this area a little bit over here. We're not done with either of them, not by a long shot. But I want to take a short aside, and I think I want to put down the main monorail station over here. And I just want to connect the track around and get the second monorail station kind of back here. Because we are almost done with the research for the park, and so we're going to get that stingray coaster pretty soon. And I'd like to get the monorail station put down here, and then I'd like to work on that stingray coaster when we finally get it. And I have some ideas for how the stingray track might come out here and interact with the lagoon a little bit, and of course I have ideas about what I want it to do back here. But I don't know, it's a lot easier to adjust the coaster for where the monorail is than it is to adjust the monorail for where the coaster is. So I kind of want to get the monorail track, the one that's going to come, pardon me, the monorail system is kind of going to start here, and it's going to head off over here somewhere and then come back this way. We don't have anything over here yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the track and just come through here and make it come into this area as if it were coming from the station that will eventually be over there. And then when we do need that station, we can delete the track and extend it back that way. So I just want to get the monorail track coming in here and figure out where the station is going to be in here. So that's what we're going to be doing this episode. And I don't know how much else we'll be doing. I have the game on pause. And let's go ahead and unpause it and see. We got our researches going here. We don't have anything else that we can research. We really need to get that stingray coaster. I think it's this one, and I'm pretty sure we don't already have it. I was looking at the coasters here. We got the train. Now let's see. We got, or is this it? No. That almost kind of looks like it. I don't know what that is. No, the one, I'm pretty sure there's one that actually has a stingray on the front of it. It's none of these. So, and I think it's suspended also, which I think will be really cool as they fly over the water and by the Kraken in the cave. So let's go over to the track rides. Oh, sorry, I had to mute the mic. I had a big sneeze. Okay. So let's see here. Transport rides. Oh, these are the blueprints. Okay. Powered transport rides. We have the steam train railroad, and the monorail. So we're going to go ahead. The monorail comes out this way. And let's see, a long time ago when we built this. This is the queue. This is the exit. And we kind of want the monorail station to take up the whole thing. So let's see here. Let's get this positioned about where we think it'll go. And it's actually, I think it's going to have to extend a little bit out beyond here like this. And where's the panel that the repair guy goes to? I guess it's right here. And let's just kind of get the height of the station floor about where the pathways are, and then we'll bring it out to about there. And that's where we're going to set this. Now we're in the track editor, and let's see, it goes this way, so it's left and left. Yep. And we want to extend it this way. Let's see how far. That might have been one too many. So I think about there. That's a pretty big station. Okay, so let's go ahead and say done. And we can't duplicate this. Oh, whoops. Okay, that's about how long we want it to be. So that is 5 cars. That is a big monorail. We are anticipating a lot of traffic in this park, a lot of people. And with this queue right here, the queue is not very long. We want to really be able to kind of get as many people into the monorail as possible. And we might actually have to go back and let's see. If we select the queue, can we change this? We might have to rebuild this right here and maybe take these steps out and start the queue over here somewhere. I don't know. I'd like to keep these steps if we can because I'd like it to be symmetrical, but as the park grows, this queue just may not be long enough. Or we could come out the side, you know, we could come out the side and make the queue longer. But anyways, the monorail station queue might need to be longer. I don't know. So now let's go ahead and let's create the track. And the monorail has nice long track pieces. And let's see, the entrance monorail, I think I want it to come over the main path before the path enters into this area. So I think I'm going to start the turn pretty early. And the monorail just does not have a big turning radius. It just doesn't have it. And let's see, if we do this. Okay, now the other question is this tall enough? Did I design this thing to be tall enough? And it is kind of low to the ground. But I do kind of like it that way. Because if we build it much higher off the ground, then it becomes harder to get the monorail stations up to where the monorail is. It takes a lot more steps and inclines in the pathway. So I think it's okay like this. Now, it almost looks like it's slanting down into the ground, so maybe the ground is just not even. Let's get the angle snap on, and let's do 15 degrees. And so we're just going to come in here, and we're just going to pretend as if it was connecting up to something over there. So maybe we'll do 15 this way. Okay. And now if we straighten it out, which way is it going now? So I think we just wanted that. So now it's going to be going pretty much straight towards this thing over here. And this is why it's easier to adjust the coaster track to account for where the monorail is than it is to adjust the monorail for where the other scenery is. So you kind of want to get your monorail station and your monorail stuff down early because it is hard to... you just don't get a lot of options. The monorail doesn't bend very much. It has minor elevation changes. I prefer to keep all the monorail track just the same height. It just keeps things simpler. Okay, so now with this, I kind of want the monorail to go straight through the middle of whatever we're going to end up putting over here. So I kind of want to aim it that way just a little bit. Okay, and that's about right down the middle. Close to it. We could even do a little turn here, and we could change the angle snap to be lower. Put a little bend like that. It's kind of fun. Okay, we are awfully close to the ground here. And that other station, let's see. I think I want the other station just kind of right here. So let's go ahead and go to the terrain. And let's just flatten the terrain here. Get all this out of the way. We'll make the brush bigger. Okay. Back to our monorail. And now we'll just start heading this way. Yeah, this may be too low to the ground. It might be. It's okay if it is. We'll figure something out for that. Okay, so I think now we'll shorten this up. And let me see. So if we put the monorail station right here, that other coaster station could maybe be here or maybe a little bit more this way. So I think what we'll do is we'll shorten this. Let's go ahead and grab all this monorail track here and let's just smooth and see what it does. And a good way to tell if the monorail is too low to the ground or not is we could take one of these little pieces here. Oops. Okay. So we could take one of the... Shoot. Alright, so we could take one of these pieces, right? And remember, these things are very big. Two of these is taller than the guy, right? So if we just stack them on top of each other... Okay, so the little person is about maybe this tall. So there's plenty of room here, height-wise. Now if we select all of these and we move them, and we can just go around the whole track here. See, everything's it's gonna work out. It's not gonna be too low to the ground. Let's just go check over here. Okay, so I think it's plenty tall enough. I think it'll be fine. And actually, at Disneyland in Anaheim, California, the monorail, I don't think it's active anymore, but, or at least the monorail track that's over by Fantasyland where the submarine is, Finding Nemo. It's not that high off the ground. It's maybe like 12 feet. Could be a little bit more. It's pretty low to the ground, actually. I was looking at it the last time we were there. Okay, so let's get out of the building edit mode there. And let's go back into the edit track. And we're going to build another station. And I think this station is going to, let's see, it's going to get on the left, exit on the right. So they'll get on this side, and the exit will be on this side. And we want to make this bigger, so that we can accommodate the same number of cars as the other station. So there's 5 cars. Okay, so that should be big enough. Let's go back over and let's just make sure. So that should be the right size. And another way that we could test that really quick is, let's see, we could take this building right here and we could do a move and get the Z for rotation. Change the height. Okay. So here's an easy way to make sure that the stations are roughly the same height. You can just take this little template building that we have from before. Okay. All right. So now if we move this, it should be the same length as the one over here. So we can just make sure that that's going to work out. Yep. So we can hit escape and it'll just go back to where it was. So this is how big our monorail stations need to be throughout the park. So we're just going to go ahead and keep that little guy kind of as a placeholder. And now we need the track to kind of come out of here. So let's go back into the editor. And now again, the monorail would be leaving this pirate adventure area, whatever you want to call it, and it would probably go to another station way back here and then head off this way to Western Land, West World, whatever it's going to end up being called. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend the track, and we're just going to turn it and have it head that way. Okay, and the map border's back here, so we kind of maybe want it to be a little close to the map border. And we're just going to go under the ground. And I'm just going to straighten it out. Okay, and we're just going to shoot out over here. And we'll be fixing all of this later. Okay, but the goal right now is we just need to get it back over to here. So if we hit autocomplete, it does that for us. And that's okay. That one wasn't bad. Now over here, there's going to be some sort of path that goes out this way. And again, the monorail is probably going to come down over here. to some rides or some area down here, and this path will kind of go this way, and there might be another path going this way. So I think I kind of want the monorail to kind of swing out over those two paths. So we'll do this. And that just makes it look like it's going this way, right? And now we'll just auto-complete, see what it does. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is a nice monorail. Can we make it stop? Oh, what has it done? Cancel. Cancel. We don't want that. All right. Let's just kind of move it back over this way. Let's see. Let's get you back over there by your friend. Okay, what about now? Okay, we're just going to accept that. That's a lot better than the other one. Okay, so we've got this horrific monorail system. But at least we know where two of the stations are going to be, right? And oh, I just kind of think like, you know, maybe we should just kind of flatten this out. So we can at least just see where this path is. Oops. Okay, we're getting there. And I don't know what you know, what the final monorail is going to end up looking like, but I just want to get things kind of blocked in, get it moving. Not very realistic right now. You know, this park is kind of a mess. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. Pretty soon I'd like to have most of the park, you know, at least about this quality in terms of scenery. And actually, I did this the other day too. If we do this real quick. If we select everything, okay, it's 4,700 pieces. So even all these pieces over here that we're not going to use, and then if we add this into it, only 200 pieces over here. So right now, there's really not a lot of scenery in the park. And we've already managed to make some pretty neat looking stuff over here. This is going to be better. We're going to build some buildings and things around here. And around here, we're going to build this area up and really kind of make it look like a pirate town. I think it's going to look really cool when we're done. It does look kind of poopy right now, but that's just part of the process. All right, let's smooth this a little bit more, maybe. Yeah, I kind of feel like it should be going a little bit kind of straighter through here. So I think like that is going to be good. And when we go in and we build scenery over here, I might do some trees and some brush, and I might build it up on this side so that if you're in the monorail, you don't really, you know, you don't see as much over here, but then leave it open on this side so that as you go by the monorail, you're going to have a really nice, oops, if I get the camera to behave, you have a really nice view of everything that's out over here leading into this area of the park. So I think that'll look really nice. And I know that some really good YouTubers in Planet Coaster, they design those things way ahead of time. I don't focus on that so much. I focus on little individual areas and bringing it up all together. And then I just kind of let the nice views develop organically throughout the park. Because no matter how haphazardly you plan things, you're going to get some nice views. If you just make the individual areas look good, there will be nice views. You will get them. Okay, so now that we got that done, let's look at the research. Okay, there's a launch coaster. I think it's a launch coaster. The werewolf. Okay, come on. Is this going to be it? The sensation of flight. This might finally be it. And let's look at the attractions overall real quick. Established. I just want to check the reputation on them all. Freaky Flyers is not making money again. That's fine. And the monorail is not open, so it shouldn't be costing us any money right now. We've already spent $30,000 on just the monorail. I think we had $250,000 or something when we started this episode. And now that we got that out of the way and we got that done, I think when this research is done here, that we're going to be able to go in and start working on this area. So in preparation for that, let's just go ahead and kind of flatten out the terrain some more, or build the terrain where we think this ride might be going through while we wait for that research. So let's just make this tool a little bit smaller. Okay, so we get this waterway that connects in over here. Now, somewhere in here, I want to have like a cave. And I think what I want is for like if the coaster station is here, let's say I kind of want the ride to go out and then kind of move along slowly through like a cave. And then climb a little bit, although we don't need it to be super huge. And this is kind of the area that we have to work with. So let's see. Oops, wrong area. So let's just kind of fill this thing out, or empty this area out here. Get the terrain out of the way and get the water in here. See what we end up with. Okay. And let's see, so how big is it going to be? And I'd kind of like at some point for the ride to come out of it and kind of come across the walkway here, or to go under, and we can add a little bit of terrain in here, and the ride could actually come out of like a tunnel in the lagoon before it heads back over to the coaster station. That could be kind of cool if we could pull that off. So let's see. And because there's going to be kind of like a cavern element here, nobody's going to be able to really see this back area of the park, is what I'm thinking. And I also had an idea for the queue on this coaster station, although maybe it would work better if the coaster station is over the water. I'd kind of like to see if I could make rope bridges, although that would be kind of tricky. But I'd like to try to make rope bridges if we can. Okay, I think that's kind of big enough in there. And so let's see, what do we do now? What would be a good idea now? I think what we should do is kind of build up the terrain around it, kind of just lift it up. I think we need a slightly larger brush. Okay. And we're just going to kind of, whoa, kind of went crazy there. We're going to kind of close this area in. Although I think I'm going to leave the top open so that we can work on the track a little bit easier. I just want to build it up so we can get a sense of maybe how high this is going to look and what it'll kind of look like from the rest of the park. Let's go ahead and, oops, increase the intensity. Okay. And when we get this thing kind of closed off and then we roughen it up and we go back in and we paint it with these textures here, I'm very intentionally not using any of these brushes right now because I want to implement some of the custom biome feature, and so I don't want to spend a lot of time painting these if I'm going to go ahead and replace some of them later. I want to bring in like the sand and a few other textures from the other biomes before we go ahead and do that. So I'm very intentionally not doing any of that work right now anywhere in the park. It'd just be a waste of time. So let's see. So how tall is that? Okay, that's pretty tall, right? That's pretty tall. Okay, and okay, now let's go full intensity and just raise it up. And I can chisel away at this, kind of make it a little bit nicer. And let's see, what else might we do? I kind of think that this cave should be like an offshoot from maybe the main waterway. So I'm almost inclined to think that we should take this and kind of carve out another path here. What happens when we hit the edge of the map? It looks kind of stupid, but that's all right. So we'll just kind of carve out an area here. Whoops. And I think we need to go back a little bit this way, because I do have a couple other little ideas to implement in here. I want to edit the track a little bit. So I don't think I want this water to get too close to here. I think I need to use some of this space right here. I'm going to need some land right here. Okay, so let's see. All right. And let's see, we can maybe come this way a little bit. Actually, okay, so we'll go this way. And then this is the one that I want to... Okay, so we're going to go straight across here and connect this back up. Okay. So we just lost all the water in there. That's fine. And then now when we come over here, I'm going to make it smaller. That's too small, probably. So when we come back in here... So it'll kind of look like this is the entranceway to the cave. And then now, bigger brush. And we'll just kind of connect the ground in here. And we'll lift up here. We'll connect those together. It looks like a giant marshmallow. And let's see. And that's kind of as much as I want to build this up right now. I just want to make sure that we have a nice open area in here. And as soon as we get that research done, which it's probably kind of close, as soon as we get that coaster, then we can kind of work on building this and figuring out exactly what the coaster is going to do. You know, where's the Kraken going to go? How's it going to come out of here and interact with other stuff? And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think it'll be cool. But I don't know. It could suck. All right. That is good for this episode. Thank you for watching, and tune in for the next one. And let's just see what we can do over here to make this area interesting. And we are almost ready to kind of like really get this park moving here. It's so close, and it's taken so long. So if you're still with me, thanks so much for watching. Have a good afternoon.